Saraswati Vidyalaya Union High School and Junior College, Pune welcomes all the students of Standard 9. I, Mrs. Manisha Chaudhary, is here to explain you the lesson how the first letter was written by Rudyard Kipling. Let us begin with the introduction of the author. Rudyard Kipling, England's most distinguished modern poet, achieved fame for his vivid word paintings of the exotic East. But for Kipling, the East wasn't the other, it was home. He was born in Bombay in 1865 at the height of the British Empire to a cultured middle class Anglo Indian parents. In India, Kipling Kipling's childhood was full of color and warmth, and its sights and sounds nourished the sensitive young child. But when he was 6, he and his little sister were sent to England to be schooled there. He developed his writing skills in the boarding school and returned to India at the age of 16 to work for a newspaper. In 1886, Kipling's first collection of verse was published, and the 6 volumes of short stories that followed drew on his Indian experiences and were a hit in England. He moved to Vermont, and there he was married to an American wife, Carrie. Later, he produced some of his most famous works, including Jungle Book. Kipling was a very famous writer in the English speaking world for about 25 years. Kipling's fame continued to increase and later was considered as Laureate of England and the Poet of the Empire. It was in England that he wrote Just So Stories and Kim. In 1907, Kipling became the youngest ever recipient of the Nobel Prize for Literature and first language writer to receive distinction. Kipling believed that it was his country's, that is, England's duty to spread civilization across the world. Kipling's blindness to the force of imperialism put him out of favor in his own homeland, that is, India. But his writings have come to be seen as great works of their time. He died in 1936. Let us now begin with the story how the first letter was written. Once upon a most early time was a Neolithic man, and he lived cavily in a cave, and he wore very few clothes, and he couldn't read, and he couldn't write, and he didn't want to. And except when he was hungry, he was quite happy. His name was Tegumai Bupsalai, and that means man who does not put his foot forward in a hurry. But we, O best beloved, will call him Tegumai for short. And his wife's name was Teshumai Tivundrov, and that means lady who asks a very many questions, but we, O best beloved, will call her Teshumai for short. So students, this story belongs to the early time, which was the Neolithic time, that is, belonging to the later part of the Stone Age period. There, people lived in caves during that time, and these people, they wore very few clothes, and they didn't know to read, nor could they write. And even it was the period that they didn't want to do all these things, except when they were hungry, they were quite happy because they were fond of eating. Now, this time, when this story belongs to the Neolithic man, the story here in this, the characters which are given, the first one is Tegumai Bopsulai, which means the man who does not put his foot forward in a hurry. Means a person who is showing patience. So, Tegumai Bopsulai was the male who was having patience, and his wife's name was Teshumai Tivendro. Now, what does that mean? It means a lady who asks a very many questions. Now, let us continue further. And we will call her in short as Teshumai Tivendro. And his wife's name was Teshumai Tivendro, and that means lady who asks a very many questions, but we, O best beloved, will call her Teshumai for short. This already we had done, children. Now further, and his little girl, daughter's name was Tafimai Metalumai, and that means small person without any manners who ought to be spanked. But I am going to call her Taffy, and she was Tegumai Bopsulai's best beloved and her own mummy's best beloved, and she was not spanked half as much as was good for her, and they were all there, all three very happy. So students, this both the parents Tegumai Bopsulai and Teshumai Tivendro, who were called as Tegumai and Teshumai, they had a little daughter. Her name was Tafimai Metulamai. And what does it mean? It means a small person without any manners who ought to be spanked. Means this girl, who was in short called as Taffy, was without any manners. And spanked here means slap with one's hand. And the author says here, but she was the beloved, the best beloved of the father and mother, and so they did not spank her, means they did not slap her, and as much as was good for her, and this was good for her, and all the three were very happy. Now let's see what happened. Now attend and listen. One day Tegumai Bopsulai went down through the beaver swamp to the Wagai river to spear carp fish for dinner, and Taffy went too. Tegumai's spear was made of wood and shark's teeth at the end, and before he had caught any fish at all, he accidentally broke it clean across by jabbing it down too hard on the bottom of the river. They were miles and miles from home, and Tegumai had forgotten to bring any extra spears. So, students, what happened one day? Tegumai Bopsulai, that is the father, he went down through the beaver swamp. Now beavers are small semi-aquatic mammals. They live some part in water and some part they like to live on land. They are semi-aquatic mammals, and swamp means a marshy land. So they went down through this beaver swamp to the Wagai river. Now you can see in the picture the river, the green land there. And Tegumai's spear was made of wood with shark's teeth, because these people, they belong to the Neolithic period. So there were no modern equipments. Whatever was made from animals' bones or animals' teeth, they made that and they used it. So the spear was made of shark's teeth at the end, and before he had caught any fish at all, he accidentally, he means by chance, he broke it clean across by jabbing it, means poke roughly with something sharp. He was trying to catch the fish and it broke it down too hard on the bottom of the river, and now the spear was broken, and they were miles and miles away from their home, that is, their cave. And Tegumai had forgotten to bring any extra spears. So, no extra spears was there, and his own spear was broken. Now, let us see further what happens. "Here's a pretty kettle of fish," said Tegumai. "It will take me half the day to mend this." "There's your big black spear at home," said Taffy. "Let me run back to the cave and ask Mummy to give it to me." "It's too far for your little fat legs," said Tegumai. "Besides, you might fall into the beaver swamp and be drowned. We must make the best of a bad job." He sat down and took out a little leather mendy bag full of reindeer sinews and strips of leather and lumps of beeswax and resin, and began to mend the spear. So, students, here when the spear was broken, the father Tegumai said, "Here's a pretty kettle of fish." It means that a messy situation. "It will take me half the day to mend this." So, to repair this spear, it will really take me half the day, he said to Taffy, that is his daughter. "There's your big black spear at home." Then Taffy replied to the father that your big black spear is there at home. So let me go back to the cave, that is to their house, to their home, and ask Mummy to give it to me. But the father said, "It's too far," because they were miles and miles away from their home, students, near the river for catching the fish. And he said, "It's too far, the house, for your little fat legs. Besides, you may fall into the beaver swamp." Now, that marshy area where beavers were there, that semi-aquatic animals. So, you may fall into that and get drowned. We must make the best of a bad job. So, the father explained to the girl that we should do something best. And he sat down, and whatever he had bought in his small mendy bag, he removed that all. It was full of reindeer sinews, then strips of leather, lumps of beeswax and resin, and he began to mend the spear. He began to repair the spear. Now, let us stop here, children. In the next part, we will continue further and see how he is able to solve the problem. Thank you, students.